I'd have to say there's a lady of Indian origin whom I really respect. And she's talking about the problem of narcissistic family members being very controlling. You thought that the significant other, the spouse, would be controlling? Not on your knowledge. It's actually a parent who's still alive. They still seem to exist, regardless of their problems. They have an extreme phobia for germs. I mean, God knows if the germs haven't killed you, what will kill you? I mean, if you're that afraid of germs, I just eventually I just give up. It's like, you're really a fearless person, aren't you? Because you wash your hands 17 hours a day, and yet I'm the one that you fear.
I never liked you in the first place, Erica Michelle Chris Heisler.
I don't. Are you like demonically possessed or something? Because I just kind of stumbled into your little tiny little nexus or universe. I never meant to cause any harm.
Well, I know, because you stole my sons.
There's crazy people living across the street. It's like, what's going to happen next? Is everything going to explode across the street? Because I know, it's like, if old ladies are wearing Death Row Records jackets on their back, that's not good. My mother would have never worn it, and my father's, sorry, I substitute my father for my husband sometimes. My father's mother never would have worn a Death Row Records jacket on her back. I'm like, I just saw you sneaking
in the house of Death Row Records.
You're white. You're white. You're not cool. You're really not cool. None of yins is cool, because, when I lived in the trailer park briefly, there were West Virginians, and they had different vernacular. They said yuns, yuns, which would mean you all or something. The house across the street, it almost burnt to the ground, but you're a little skeptical about this kind of stuff. It's like, who are these people? Like, why are they don't seem to have a job. Like, my job is just basically being myself, so I can't explain.
Why is being yourself a job?
Well, that's a good question. I have aspirations about being an author, and like a person who's I'm not sure, but I don't know why I exist and other people don't. But the people across the street, like, there were two particularly hostile people. Like, the lady would always shout at his wife, and I'm not mixing it up. I'm not mixing up the genders. The lady would always shout at his wife,
"Ah, you raped my son."
I mean, if the son was really raped by the father, why is he and his mall waiting by the bus stop, picking up the kid? Like, are you, please, tell me. Tell me now, like Duran Duran would say. This guy is no good. He's no good, and his wife is no good, and I felt sorry for your son. I feel sorry for your son.
I didn't say anything about my son.
And then the woman punched me in the mouth. I'm like, oh, Jesus, have mercy on my soul. I'm not like a violence. We don't come from a violent family where we just punch people. I guess my brother was beat up and bloodied, and before he eventually died, before he was thrown off a building, he actually was bloodied up. Germanotta family, like an Italian, kind of like a Sicilian family, like kind of screwed him over, like, because we see the mark. That's not good. I don't do that. I don't, like, go out in life thinking, I'm gonna just find a rube. I'm gonna find somebody to just totally decimate. Wow, that's so sad. Aunt Judy, hello, you listening? Old fatty, old fatty. Oh, I'm just too fat to. I would love to invite you to Puzzly Woods, Aunt Connie, although you're a cousin. Nancy, Connie. It all seems to rhyme, doesn't it? You old fatties, you old fatties, you old baggages. Darn it, it's not fair. I was born in 1972. I'm younger than you. Last time I talked to my little cousin, the little fat cousin with the blonde hair, like she's like a little, what would you describe her as? Like a sculpture? Like, I don't know, she's just like a fat little sculpture. She's like a blonde, fat little sculpture. She doesn't care. She has all the wealth of the world. I said, that boy, people in our family, we just don't, just like commit suicide. And she sent me like Christmas stuff, and I'm like, well, I wasn't even there. And my husband said, well, I ate most of the sausage and all that. I'm like, what's her address? I don't remember. It's like, well, we know the city and the locality, but we shan't betray their identity, shall we? You really don't think I exist. You think that I don't matter, and that really, in a way, that makes you such a huge hypocrite. Like Nancy, didn't your uncle like kill your child? Like, he looked a little bit too white. And Clara, when Clara was still alive. Clara blabbed and she said, well, he looked too white, and that's why the uncle. They took him to an amusement park, and the uncle apparently punched him right in the gut, and killed the little boy. And Nancy's just like, I'm footloose and fancy free. I'm as fat as I wanna be. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Turn in your people that did that to that little boy, because he didn't deserve that savage attack, bitch. Fucking, I think about this all the time. And my mother was no help, because she was a person who really just loved to disturb me. And she said, Jonas Butch. Jonas Butch or Jonas Bitch, I don't know. He was a white guy. He used to drive a hearse into the Darriette, and he actually broke his little kid's arms. He broke his arm. I'm like, Jesus, have mercy on my soul. I can't handle this information. You say that Jonas Bitch, actually broke his little child's arms.
Oh, he did, and he's doing your plumbing for you. He's picking up your trash.
Thank you, Mother. Fuck you. I'm glad you're dead now. Because, you never did anything to encourage me or help me along my Christian way. I mean, honestly, like, a mother that hates you, it's like, if you have a mother that really views you as a rival, I'm not really sure what you can do. That disturbed me for so many years. Because when I worked at the Darriette, Jonas Bush used to come in, and he did drive a hearse, and he had like John Lennon glasses, and he sort of had the appearance of John Lennon, and he would come into the Darriette, and one time he was sort of flirting with me, when I lost a little bit of weight, you have to lose a little bit of weight for men to flirt with you. She said, my mother went out of her way to say, he broke his son's arms. He broke his infant son's arms. I'm like, thank you, bitch, for telling me that. I know that you don't like me. I know that you don't love me. And, the one person that I had a connection with, you're just going to destroy that. Because you just, so you really are sort of like a person who really enjoys other people's pain. What would that be? It bothered me for years. When did that shift? When my mother really loved me. I remember my mother had an affair with a guy who was also a school teacher, and she basically had a very torrid, flagrant affair with this math teacher. And she acted as if she had done nothing wrong, so that would be from Proverbs or something like, I have done nothing wrong, I've wiped my mouth, I am innocent. When your mother does something like that, doesn't that affect your whole worldview? I mean, my mother had recently gotten me baptized, and then I had my first communion, and then my brother was born. I thought everything is cool. And then, things were stolen from the house, with her Mohican Youth Camp affiliation. Would you understand that a person really... I never thought that my brother would even be conceived or born, and then when he's born, so soon after he's born, he actually dies. You don't, I mean, people don't comprehend this anguish, I would say. So, when I promote the Guns N' Roses, a lot of people are going to fall away, like Jesus said, eat my blood, eat my flesh, drink my blood, eat my flesh. I'm so cut off from all of none of them call me, only like telemarketers, and nobody's called me today. Actually is like, he's dead. My brother is dead. My parents are dead. What's your problem? Like, why are you mad at me? Good. Goodbye.